Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to the Construction Specifiers Democast on Haws Touchless Hydration Solutions. My name is Nitya, and I'll be moderating today's presentation. Before I introduce the speaker, please note your mics are muted. It would be best if you turn on the speaker view. That said, if you have any questions for our speakers, feel free to post them in the Q&A forum. We will address as many questions as possible at the end of the presentation. If you have any connectivity or Zoom-related questions, you can use the chat feature to communicate with us, and we'll do our best to help you. Today's presentation is being recorded. It will be available on the Construction Specifiers website, so you can access it whenever you need to. Now, I'd like to introduce our speaker. Samantha Hawk is Regional Sales Director East at Haws. In today's presentation, Samantha will provide an overview of Haws's touchless hydration solutions. With that, I'll turn things over to Samantha.
Nitya, thank you so much, and thank you for everyone who's here today. We do have an array of people. We've got specifiers, we have some contractors on the line, so I'm going to keep this broad enough to apply to the entire audience. But the focus today, as Nitya mentioned, is going to go over all of Haws's touchless hydration solutions. You know as well as I do, the world is evolving, and the need for touchless products and the desire for touchless products is evident. And so we are happy to be able to walk through some of the products that we have available for you to add into some of your new projects, or maybe retrofit some of your existing projects that are out there to make things a little more COVID friendly and a little more touchless, right? So as mentioned, I'm Samantha Hawk. I work with Haws Corporation as the Regional Sales Director in the East. Today, we're going to talk really quickly a little bit of history on Haws if you're not familiar with us. The importance of touchless products, why that matters so much in our world today. Then we'll dive right into the array of products that we have that are touchless, including drinking fountains and the beloved bottle fillers. We'll talk a little deeper specific to the electric water cooler, since that is a very popular hydration product. And then a little bit of contact information at the end. So background on Haws, if you're not familiar with us, we invented the drinking fountain back in 1906. Our founder, Luther Haws, was the inventor and created the first bubbler. So we have a lot of history. We've been making hydration products for 114 years. So we obviously have quality and reliable product out there for you. One of the biggest things that we ensure that we maintain and develop our products to adhere to is the ADA code and building code. ADA, of course, standing for Americans with Disabilities Act. So we make sure that we abide by that, from bottle fillers to drinking fountains, etc. And interestingly enough, in 2010, when bottle fillers became really popular and this trend started, that was actually Haws as well. We initiated the first touchless modern bottle filler, which I'll show you a photo of here in a couple slides. Pretty common sense here, but why is touchless important? It's going to be sanitary. We have a lot going on in our world, and COVID is not the first pandemic that we've dealt with, and hopefully it's the last, but we want to make sure that we're prepared for anything in the future. So a more sanitary activation, touch-free, a lot less touch points is really the way to go for public places. The touch-free is a nice and easy activation. It's a simple front motion with your hand, very easy to install, and there's a variety of product options out there. And what we're hearing, I'm sure you're hearing the same from your customers, or if you are a customer, that you're looking for a way to temporarily disable your bubbler, your drinking fountain bubbler. For the time being, we really do not want to advise our customers coming into our facilities to put their mouth so close to an object where so many others in public may have done so, or touch a push bar that so many others have done so. And so we have come out with solutions to allow you to temporarily disable your bubbler, and I'll talk about that here in a moment. And once things come back to normal and we want those bubblers to be reactivated and get back into compliance with the ADA standard, you can easily do that. So what we're hearing from a code standpoint is a couple different things, and this is really important. All of us have to adhere to this. The CDC reminded us that nothing has changed. There is no exception because there is a pandemic. You still have to abide by the ADA standard, which is a minimum requirement of high drinking fountains for those who have disabilities bending down and stooping, and low wheelchair accessible fountains for those who have disabilities and are in a wheelchair. There is no exception right now in abiding by that standard. The CDC also recently output an additional recommendation to develop a water management program for all devices related to water within a facility. So that includes fountains, and just make sure that there's appropriate maintenance and really good cleaning, right? So what the ADA standard has always said is that a bottle filler cannot replace your minimum required drinking fountains. And I'm going to emphasize that specifically when we're doing new projects, there are no exceptions. The bottle filler is considered a supplemental piece of equipment. From a retrofit standpoint, the plumbing code is saying that you can substitute 50% of your drinking fountain requirement with bottle fillers. So let's dive into some of the products. First, we'll start with your basic drinking fountain. As mentioned, Haws has been doing this for 114 years, and drinking fountains have been a part of buildings for that long. And so there's tons of them out there. Well, we don't want to always have to rip out that drinking fountain to have a touchless operated fountain. So what we've come up with is a retrofit kit to allow you to go from manual operation to sensor operation. And that is on any of the Haws existing drinking fountains out in the field currently, as well as one of our bottle fillers that you'll see down here in the bottom right. That's our model 1920. So our retrofit kits come with all the goodies that you need to easily make that change in the field. We have a nice handy installation video, great product to be a cost-effective retrofit and become touchless. So here's a couple examples just showing you an existing indoor drinking fountain. You can do one sensor if you happen to have a high-low combination drinking fountain, or you can do both, just preference there. And those are all available now. The obvious benefits are that you're now getting a hands-free touchless operation, which is what we're trying to do in so many buildings, not just drinking fountains, but faucets and lavatories, and everything's trying to be converted, or we're trying to build new buildings in that manner. What that also does is allows maintenance to decrease the amount of times that they need to clean, with the assumption that there is no touch point, correct? So that's a benefit. The sanitary interaction, lack of touching, helps slow the spread of germs, and that's obviously a huge thing we're focusing on globally right now. They are tamper resistant and durable. They should be lasting for the lifetime of the Haws drinking fountain. There we are. So as I mentioned earlier, Haws was the inventor of the modern bottle filler, the touchless bottle filler back in 2010. And this was the product. It is our Hydration by Haws bottle filler. There are two options. One would be recessed into the wall for a more permanent look, permanent installation. The other option, say we're working on a school and they have brick walls, may make more sense to mount it on the wall, surface mounted. Both of them are touch-free, sensor operated, hygienic. Both of them are built-in filtration. Both of them have the capability to add custom logos. We know our hotel chains and our universities love to put their name on everything, right? So we have the ability to do that. They both have an auto purge feature. So every 24 hours at whatever time you like, you can set it to purge and make sure that we're clearing the line and the dead leg of any stagnant water to make sure we're preventing any bacterial growth such as Legionella. Pretty nice, very aesthetic indoor bottle filler option. Specifically, now we're going to dive into the electric water cooler. This was designed by Haws more recently to retrofit over existing water coolers in the market. So of course, this is ideal for new installation, but very, very useful when it comes to renovations. We have the ability to retrofit over existing rough-ins and existing plumbing and electrical for the majority of the other drinking fountain manufacturers out there. So that is something to keep in mind. No need to start over, rip out the plumbing. It's a quick plug and play. The design itself was created with really large clearances in the back, and that's going to make life easier for those contractors out there and those maintenance people to make installation, filter replacements, and any type of maintenance a breeze. We do have proprietary electronics for enhanced LED communication. And I won't go into detail on this webinar, but if you go on to our website, www.hawsco.com, you're able to dive into the electric panel and all of the features that show up on that screen, of course, including the bottle filler, or I'm sorry, the bottle counter, which everybody loves the bottle counter. And built into our water cooler, which this is unique to Haws, is a smart energy savings mode. So this cooler is going to turn off the compressor, essentially saving energy after 60 minutes of non-use and when the area lights have turned off. And so what that's doing is pretty much, think about an office building, 5 p.m., lights are turned off, everybody leaves until the next morning. Well, why do we need to unnecessarily chill water and pull energy? There's no need. So the unit itself is smart in knowing that, hey, I don't need to be chilling water right now. But the second someone comes to the office in the morning and the area lights turn on, bing, the compressor turns right on and it's instantaneously chilling your water for the next fill. Pretty unique feature. For the Haws electric water cooler, we have a total of 8 models. We have your standard at the bottom, your single and your high-low electric water cooler with the bubbler. And then we have at the top, your single and your high-low of the electric water cooler with the bottle filler edition, the touch-free sensor-operated bottle filler. All 4 of these units have the ability to have a filter in it. Specific into the bottle filler, as you can see, it's touchless. That's going to eliminate the spread of germs. It's got your bottle counter. It also has an auto purge feature, and it's a smart auto purge feature. So not every 24 hours, but every 24 hours of non-use. So we're reducing the amount of times we are purging water into the drainage system versus it being consumed. No one else actually has an auto purge that is smart in knowing that it hasn't been activated for 24 hours, therefore I need to purge. Other bottle fillers will automatically purge every 24 hours regardless of use. So that is unique as well. You can adjust the sensor sensitivity. There is a hidden information display that will let you know, maybe the maintenance person know if there's any error codes. It'll let you know the life left of the filter, all sorts of things. From an installation standpoint, we talked about those large clearances. Take a look at the photo on the bottom and how open and clean and clear everything is. We don't have wires crossing over water lines and the compressor right by the filter. Nice and clean, nice and easy. That's what's going to help with a retrofit capability over all the other manufacturers, as well as reducing the time on installation. On average, we find installing a Haws water cooler versus a competitor's water cooler, a different manufacturer, we save approximately 40 to 60 minutes per unit. That's some extensive time savings, right? Which equates to cost savings. A very neat feature that we have that is so applicable to the current world right now is that bubbler deactivation feature we talked about earlier. This is going to allow you to maintain ADA and building code compliance once everything clears up when you put that bubbler back on. But all Haws electric water coolers with bottle fillers will allow you to deactivate and take off that bubbler and pretty much make the drinking fountain not usable. It will come with signage to let the customer know, hey, you know, we recommend you use the touch-free bottle filler. That's still operating. It will come with a plug, a cover plate, so nobody mistakenly sticks their face there. It's a fantastic feature. And again, once things start to get better and we become more comfortable, you have the ability to put that bubbler right back on. And let me tell you, it takes about 5 minutes to reverse it one way or the other. So very quick, very easy in the field conversion. The bowl remains intact, the drain remains intact. It's very, very simple. I guess I said everything on this next slide. Yep, reversible in-field installation, quick and easy. All right. So how about a completely sensor-operated electric water cooler? I'm sure some of you were sitting there looking at that push bar on the drinking fountain and saying, well, wait, someone has to touch that. Don't fret. We also now have a completely touch-free electric water cooler. So it is redundant with the button. The benefit of that is if something goes bonkers with the sensor, the button is there to still allow the drinking fountain to work. So you've got redundancy, which I think is really the best way to go. It will come with signage again for that, hand front motion, that this is a completely touch-free bottle filler and drinking fountain. And what it does is it really allows you to maintain usage of both the bottle filler and the drinking fountain versus, maybe taking off the bubbler, or as we've seen out in public so often, people taping it and putting plastic bags all over it. So this is really a fantastic product out there. Some of the other bottle fillers that we have available, there are different types of bottle fillers. We all know there's recessed, there's surface mounted. We have bottle fillers that can mount over an existing drinking fountain or an existing water cooler. We have bottle fillers that can be filtered or chilled. So one of the ones I'd like to pull out here while we're on the topic of bottle fillers is our modular outdoor bottle filler and drinking fountain. So this unit, you see only 4 combination options here, but really with the 4 accessories that we have that can be added, you can have up to almost 200 configurations. And so the neat thing about this is you can make some modifications in the field. You can add an arm later on if you decide you wanted to add a doggy bowl, or if you wanted to swap the bottle filler for the drinking fountain. You can do that out in the field. So pretty modular product in the field. Again, this is an outdoor unit, and your 4 optional accessories is your drinking fountain, your bottle filler, a dog bowl, and a hose bib that can be lockable for vandal proof. So pretty neat product, custom colors, really vandal resistant out in the field, will weather all the different climates. So something to keep in mind if you're working on anything outdoors, or maybe on a school campus. We're seeing a lot of traction in parks and rec. So keep that in mind. See, I get ahead of myself and I already went too far ahead. But yes, your question, ADA compliance, we are meeting ADA compliance. Very easy to install. The internal plumbing is nice and easy to access. It's a pretty good size base to be able to get in there and make any modifications as desired. And you can add 4 different placements. 4 different placements and 3 lower accessory options for a total of 7 different arms and legs for accessories. Well, that went by quick, but I'm glad you all joined. If anybody has any questions, this is when we're going to open it up. I believe Nithya will be feeding them to me. So right now is a really good time to start plugging those in. We've got a full 12 minutes to answer any and all questions. So go for it.
Yes, as Samantha said, first, Samantha, thank you for the presentation. And on audience members, if you have any questions, please post them in the Q&A section, and I'll ask Samantha to address them. Samantha, to start off, please explain how is Haws different from other options in the market?
Yeah, Nithya, that could be a laundry list, and I'm not trying to be too over the top, but our history is a really big piece of it. Having created the drinking fountain in 1906 and been doing this for 114 years, durability, quality, longevity is a huge piece of our drinking fountain offering. But really, when we're getting to the bottle fillers and the electric water coolers, some of those features that we go above and beyond what is out in the market, such as bubbler deactivation, smart auto purge, smart energy savings mode. We're really keeping up with the times, and we're listening to you, and we're adapting our product to that.
Thank you. And then the next question is, how do you see hydration products continuing to change?
That's a great question. I can't even answer what next year might look like for the world, let alone the hydration products, but I really do believe touchless is gonna continue, not even just when COVID is over and done with, but I really do think touchless and more hygienic options will occur. Obviously, we're seeing a huge trend with bottle fillers. People are wanting to adapt bottle fillers to their drinking fountains to offer that touch-free operation. I think filtration is also going to be a really big piece of it. I see people request filtration sometimes, but not always. I think in the future, as we start to unfortunately see the quality of our water degrade, we're going to need to put in filtration for those who are consuming drinking water.
Thank you, Samantha. And the next question is, what options are available for outdoor wall mount fountains and or coolers and fillers?
That's a big question. We have an array of outdoor wall-mounted options that will be freeze-proof. So if you want them to operate in the winter, you can simply have a particular button on there, request the FR version of the drinking fountain. We also have some bottle fillers that are freeze-proof as well, meaning that they will work all year long. We have all sorts of pedestal-mounted drinking fountains and bottle fillers that can work throughout the winter. I would recommend going onto our website, Hawsco, HAWSCO.com, and going under the hydration tab. And we have a specific section just for outdoor units, and you can filter down to wall mounted. So that'll be more helpful than a jibber jabber.
Thank you, Samantha. And the next question, are the recessed units available in both remote chiller as well as non-chiller to conserve on install depth?
In relation to the Model 2000S and 2000 SMS bottle filler that I showed you, the one that has the custom logos on the top, absolutely. That one does not automatically come chilled. You will have the opportunity to add a chiller either in the ceiling or behind it, below it in the wall, but off the bat it comes non-chilled.
Okay, thank you. I'm just going to wait for a few more seconds to see if anybody else has any more questions.
Sure. I will actually go to the next slide just so those can grab our contact information.
Yeah, sure. Go ahead. Yes, that would be helpful. There's another question. Have you had any field service issues with the EWC?
No, this is a fairly new unit for us. We did have an EWC probably 5-10 years ago,
right,
and nothing has come up at this point. As mentioned, we put as much love and care into our 114-year-old drinking fountains as we do our new electric water coolers. So nothing has come up in any negative fashion, and we're continuing to adapt this product to make it better and better and more related to what the customer and the clients are demanding, such as touch-free, bubbler deactivation, etc.
Okay, and as a follow-up to that question, what would be the most common parts needed to service the 1211 SF?
I'm sorry, the common paths?
Parts, accessories.
Oh, sure. To
service. Yeah.
A filter. It's really the only thing. If you're getting a filter, that's the only thing that you'll need to keep an eye on. Outside of that, it's your basic cleaning of any type of building element, wiping it down with the appropriate cleaner to not degrade the stainless steel components. Outside of that, as mentioned, the LED display has some error codes, so the maintenance person can kind of check up on that and if anything pops up. But outside of that, it's just as basic as a drinking fountain.
Okay, thank you. And lastly, in which regions are these products available?
They are available in all of North America and Canada at this moment. Yes.
Okay. Well,
all throughout the country.
Thank you, Samantha. And that's all the time we had for questions today. Thank you again, Samantha, for joining us and explaining Haws's touchless hydration solutions. A recording of the democast will be available 1 week from now. We will also send a link to the recording via email to all registrants. Thanks to everyone who attended. Before you go, please take a few minutes to give us your feedback by completing our survey. It should appear in your browser after you close Zoom. Have a great afternoon and stay safe.
Thank you, everyone. Thanks for spending
Thank
your
you.
afternoon and morning with us. Have a good one.